Welcome back. This is Bullet Catcher Gaming. I'm here with UK Jedi. We're playing a bit of Wildlands, but we're here to discuss our thoughts and theories around Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Go into what we've seen, things like that. We're not going to be doing any missions. We're just going to have a look around a couple of spots that we haven't looked around for a while. A like and subscribe will be great, or leave a comment in the comment section. That'd be cool. We were going to initially do our talking over the top of some Breakpoint footage, but in being entirely honest, if anyone's probably listening to this, they've seen it already multiple times, I would imagine. So I'm not sure whether it was actually necessary. So we thought we'd just have a little look around and see what's what, really. So right. So Nick, what was your first impressions of Breakpoint?
I thought it was good. It seems to incorporate a lot of the things that people wanted to bring into Wildlands, which I think is a good thing. It's come up with a few other ideas that I haven't sort of thought of before, which was good. The gameplay looks good. My concern will be how much it is over the co-op compared to if you were doing it on your own a bit, because obviously not everybody wants to play in a team all the time. Wildlands is pretty good for just jumping in and out of on your own. Sometimes just go and have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of fun. But I'm not sure that game's going to have the same.
So what do you think about them? Not utilising IOT Mate. So as far as what I've seen on a lot of the online posts, this is something that is maybe split people a little bit. Some people were like, well, they were useless anyway, I'd turn them off, which that's fair enough. And others were, well, I enjoyed having them there. Which I also agree with, I mean, I'm going to be honest, my opinion, I wish they'd put them in and you had the option of turning them off.
I think that's kind of part of my point, really. You've got, Wildlands, you can jump in, you can go and do a mission, you've got the AI, you can go and take down a base or whatever you want to do, really, without any problems and without kind of, without having to sort of get too engrossed in the game, if you like.
Yes.
Whereas if you haven't got them there, and the thing is more based around the team game, then, well, are you going to be able to do that? Are you going to be able to just jump in and out a bit like you can with Wildlands? That's a bit of a concern with me, because if you've got to start dedicating, large amounts of time and not being able to just do a bit here and a bit there, then, that might be a little bit of a takeaway from it. I know they've brought in some bits as well from the Division around kind of crafting and that kind of thing. Not really having played the Division, or only playing a very, very small amount of the Division. I'm not sure about the whole crafting thing.
As long as it's only health related stuff, I'm okay with that. I also can kind of feel.
But like in the Division, it's not. It's equipment. It's weapons. It's stuff like that. So,
I think I have a funny feeling that the weapons and stuff will not be part of it. If you have a look on the gameplay trailer, the alpha footage, the options that seem to be coming up don't really seem to be weapon related. And if you hear them talking about the weapons, like the challenges, the Wildlands challenges that are available, which give you extra weapons and stuff already in the game, sorry if I'm not making sense there. So obviously, if people do or don't know this, there are certain challenges that are already set, and if you have already completed these challenges, or you do complete these challenges, you effectively can unlock weapons, vehicles, things like that already when the game starts. Sorry, bear with me a second. I'm just trying to find the cave. I thought it was there. It's not. So where is it? Is it around here somewhere? I wanted to go and have a look around the cave. I'm sure it was there.
So long since I've been there, I don't remember.
No, I can't remember either. Is it here somewhere? Here it is.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. I won't fly in. So I do think that it won't affect weapons and things. I think it's going to be very much. I think it's going to be very much down to. And don't get me wrong. If I had a choice of crafting and non-crafting, I would pick non-crafting any day. I'm not actually a huge fan of crafting and stuff. If I want to play an RPG game, I'll play an RPG. Though, saying that, you know, I mean, one of the things that I not have an issue with, because when I saw it, I thought, you know what, I like the look of this, is the injury system.
Oh, the injury system looks great.
No, I think it looks great, but I do worry whether it will start to become a real grind after a while. Whether you'll be in a big firefight and you're constantly having to do it, will it literally drive you insane?
Tango down.
I mean, I hope not. I do hope not, but I don't know. I just think it's going to be. I think it's going to be one of those things that we just don't know until we kind of play it. You know, on the beta or something like that, give us a good impression.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think they'll overdo it, hopefully, because they know it'll irritate people. But I love the fact that you've got to hold your weapon differently if you've been shot in the arm or stuff like that. That does excite me as such. I quite like that.
Yeah, no, I think they've got some great ideas there, and they've got some good things to bring into it. As I say, crafting is one of those things for me that, yeah, I'm not 100% on that one.
How is this man alive? How are you alive?
Frag out.
Jesus. That's
Not anymore.
So yeah, the gunplay looks pretty decent. I think the actual tactical, the kind of tactical element to the game, it does look way more tactical than I think Wildlands will be. I'm not sure, just from watching the footage, I don't know whether it's going to be, you know, we do a lot of just kind of run and gun kind of stuff. I don't know whether we're going to be able to
I don't think you're going to be able to do that.
Nor do I. Obviously, the drones, even your own drone, is going to be a big part of it. I know it's going to be responsible for your own sync shot. Obviously, because there's no AI teammates. Do you know what though? I think if people keep asking for AI teammates, it might be one of those things that later on down the line they update it. I will actually buy the gold. Yeah. I will be buying the gold edition though, because you get quite a lot of extra free missions and things with it. And the thing that excites me that they've said that they're going to be adding, which will add loads of replayability, are that there's going to be some, by the looks of it, separate islands that are going to be for raids. Now they're not going to be available when the game comes out, but they're going to add them a few months later. Supposedly they're done, but they don't want to put raids in straight away. Now obviously if people don't know what raids are, which I'm pretty sure most people do, they're used a lot on games like Destiny and stuff like that, where you can keep doing the same thing over and over, are very hard on a squad kind of mechanic for rewards. So you know, you can raid for rewards over and over again, you know, against enemies and things like that. So I'm kind of up for that if they add it. I think that could be interesting.
It's a good concept.
It's something
It just
different.
depends on how they do it.
Yeah, it's something that you know, if you don't want to use it, you haven't got to. I would quite like it if they added like a guerrilla mode in the game at the beginning. It does make me think, did they put guerrilla mode into Wildlands so late on when they had a new game coming out? Was it because they've already intend to add it into the new one? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know the answer to that, but I have no problem with that.
It would surprise me if they put a guerrilla mode in that one to start with. I think it would surprise me.
Yeah,
I'm
possibly.
I'm not sure it holds for a guerrilla mode.
I think
Certainly
team,
not to start with.
you know, the team dynamic, you know, you have to have 4 players. That won't be an issue for us, obviously. It may be an issue for some people. The fact that it's always online, some people don't like that either, because obviously if they're having internet problems, they can go on and play offline on the map anyway. I think that's just a way. If they've got a game with raids and things like that in it, that's why it'll always be online, like Destiny and stuff like that. You know, it'll be that kind of thing. But you know, overall, I thought graphically it looked really nice. I liked all the different biomes that are going to be available, the snow and desert, stuff like that. I like the fact that there'll be different types of enemies. It looks like you're going to have normal kind of, you know, normal enemies. You're going to have very heavily armored enemies. It's going to be very much like, obviously we're in the middle of Fallen Ghosts for the channel at the moment. It's going to be very much like Fallen Ghosts. There was even a moment in the trailer where he's hiding under the tree and they're passing above him.
Yeah.
Which, you know, was straight out of Fallen Ghosts. And I think because of the reception that people got playing Fallen Ghosts is probably what gave them the idea in the first place to go and do.
Fallen Ghosts is by far the best DLC that they've done.
Oh, you know, and I actually think it makes the game more interesting as a whole. I actually think it's kind of more fun to play overall. So I think they've added those elements. You can have heavies in there. I presume probably superior snipers, things like that. I'm quite up for that. And so, what did you make of the rubbing, you know, dirt and mud all over yourself?
I thought it was great.
I thought it was great. Some people went, "Oh, how did they not see them?" and blah blah blah. And I thought, yeah, but you know what? It was just a trait. It was just a very, you know, a demo. It, you know, that could be vastly improved by that point. You know, I don't think it necessarily means anything at this point of how good that does and doesn't look. I personally really liked that. Because for me, one of the biggest frustrating things, and many people on other channels have covered this element, is that even with like optical camo, which is like on my character right now, it makes zero difference really. It looks cool, but it makes zero difference. If you can add optical camo and things like that, but it actually makes a huge difference. You can sneak. I want to be able to sneak up to enemies 3-4 feet away from them, disguised, and they can't.
Yeah, and take them down with a knife rather than
Absolutely, and that coming on.
Because some of them takedowns were fantastic.
Some of the takedowns were absolutely incredible. I just thought they have, because one of the criticisms in this game is that the up close quarters stuff is not that great. But my God, were those takedowns amazing. They really have done a blinding job of sorting those out. I'll give them that. That looks absolutely fantastic. Overall, I watched it. I was a little bit worried initially that we were going to get some kind of, you know, Fortnite-y type battle royale thing, which I was thought, please don't. And we didn't, thankfully. And it was obviously a nice surprise to what we actually did get. You know, I was surprised that a few people were moaning, saying, "Oh, I wanted to go back to, you know, games like Future Soldier and things like that. But for me, it's got a great mix of the elements of between like Future Soldier type games and Wildlands. I love Wildlands, so all I wanted was a Wildlands 2. And for me, Breakpoint is just Wildlands 2. The main character is still Nomad. I believe they have used that name before. I could be wrong. But for me, it's Wildlands 2. The way it plays looks like Wildlands 2. I love all the little bits about sliding down hillsides, and the fact that they've said that if you're now on a mountainside, you can actually be in danger of injuring yourself or falling off. And I quite like that, because it's now going to use, at the moment in Wildlands, your environment, it matters, but it doesn't. You know, you can run up the side of a mountain, and the only thing that stops you is if it's too steep, and a lot of the time you can traverse your way around that. Whereas it looks like on this, that's not necessarily going to happen quite so easily. I know that there are multiple versions of the game that are coming out. I think like the Gold Edition and the edition with the statue and whatnot. I won't be getting the statue version, but I'm hoping that, you know, it's going to be hard, that it's going to be a challenge. And I personally, initially I was unsure about all the drones, but now I'm actually quite up for it, because if it's an added threat, you know, you're having to deal with drones in the sky and enemies on the ground at the same time. For me, that's going to get very interesting. I think that really could be good fun. So
that could be great fun.
Is there anything that you saw that you went, you know, I just don't like the look of that at all? That looks terrible. Why have they done that?
No, I mean, I think most of it was a fairly good idea. As I say, I mean, I'm not a great fan of the crafting thing, and I'm not sure that I want that, even if it's just for medical stuff.
Yeah, because what will happen if you just don't have any meds? That you're literally you're done for, basically.
Yeah.
You know, if you've constantly got to keep looking at, or will it? Do you think it will really be a kind of almost a bit of a nothing, and you'll be able to find this stuff just littered all over the place?
Oh no, I think there'll be loads of it. I think it'll be a bit like the Division. There's loads of it. It's just a case of you having to make a concerted effort to actually pick it up.
Yeah.
You know.
Or
but
will there be something, a monetization approach where, yeah, you can just buy infinite health packs for $10 or something, you know, or whatever. Is it a way for them to just make more cash? I don't know, but for me,
I can see maybe that they'll do that, but I mean, they haven't really done that with Wildlands and that, so I'm not convinced that they would go down that route. But
then you don't need to on Wildlands. You've only got to run away for a few seconds and you're back to full health, aren't you, sir?
Yeah, try to beach this dinghy.
But I do like. I enjoyed the stuff with the dragging dead enemy bodies. How many times have you tried stealth and they found a body? So frustrating that you couldn't move bodies.
I like that, and that you can pick your teammates up and move them out of the way to heal them. How many times have you been downed whilst you're trying to heal somebody? You know.
Oh God, It's I am really looking forward to that. That looks amazing. To be fair, it is most of the complaints that people have had are literally have been answered. I think that's why I don't understand people complaining, because it's like all these things you wanted are there. They've added them. And of course, one of the big things: wire cutting the fences.
Oh, now that's going to be so cool. Because, you know, I mean, not having to run around to find a gap.
Well, it will add another element of stealth, because at the moment, stealthing into a base on Wildlands means parachuting in or finding a door to get in. And that's not always the best way to get, stealth in. If you can cut a small hole and in you go, that'll be, that is so much better. I'm well impressed with them adding that. For me, it was just what it needed. I don't really have any downsides to it. I'm a little bit with you. I don't really. I'm not too fussed on this whole crafting thing. I'd rather do without it. But some of the vehicles that they've shown look fantastic. It looks like the weapon variation, actually the customization of weapons, looks like it's going to be even more in depth than this game.
Yeah.
You can actually swap different pieces from different weapons, I believe, by the looks of it. Now, that would be absolutely incredible. This game has the deepest weapon customization I can remember in most games, and adding to that and making it bigger is impressive. I'm impressed with that. But yeah,
it is, but I wonder whether sometimes that does also take a little bit away from some other elements. It becomes so much then about, can you find the barrel, can you find the scope, etc. And
yeah, and there will be that. There will definitely be that again. But also the fact that they've got shoulder-mounted rocket launchers and things like that. The other thing that I wasn't sure about, I don't know if anyone can answer this or knows this, but I haven't seen. Can you switch cameras? Because every single angle that I saw on alpha footage, the player was firing one side. I think it was from the right shoulder, never ever from the left. So do you think that you will be able to switch cameras?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I've seen a video of somebody who's played it, one of the reviewer people, and they were saying that they specifically set it up that way, but the people they were playing with were changing it from third person to first person, left and right shoulders, all the rest of it. So you can do that by the things of it.
Oh, that's good then. Oh, I'm pleased about that. I'm very pleased about that. So I'm actually very excited for this game. I think it's going to be the next kind of, it is kind of Wildlands 2 without the name. I love the fact that they went out of their way and put a mission into the game to link the story up. And they've also got this big conference that they've advertised on the front of the magazine that's going on, I think June, July time. I think it was June, I can't remember, which also is when E3 is going on, which I think they'll then I wouldn't even be surprised if something else is dropped into Wildlands before that point to advertise the fact that the island was taken over by whatever this dude's name is. Cold.
I mean, I haven't played it yet, but that new operation isn't finished, and that's clearly going to have another part, I think.
Yeah, I believe they'll have a second part. Yeah, I believe that it will have, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think I'm excited about this game. It's probably the game I'm looking forward to the most this year. And I am still looking forward to Modern Warfare 4. But obviously, having not seen anything of that yet, this is the game for me that I'm looking forward to the most, without a shadow of a doubt. And you know what? I think I'm up for a game. Having been a huge fan of SOCOM, the more closer you can get to a SOCOM game, the better. Obviously, the big differences with SOCOM is that your teammates, even your AI teammates, were huge. You needed them. You had to rely on them. The AI on them, was pretty decent. So, we'll see. But as encourages us to play together as a team and do the story as a team.
I think the teamwork is far better than on your own. But I just like the element of Wildlands where you can just jump in and out for 5 minutes if you've got 5 minutes to just have a bit of a muck about and a bit of a
think
play
that
around.
hopefully that I think hopefully there will still be that, but it just means that you'll have no AI teammates, but you will have your AI drone that will go around doing all the killing for you, if you need it to, because I think it's got guns on it, hasn't it? And
Yeah, I think so.
hopefully we get some more technology which they haven't gone into yet. Maybe some optical camo, or I don't know whether they're trying to kind of make out that everyone else, the enemy, has got all this fancy stuff and you haven't. Yours is very basic. You got the guns.
Yeah, I think you build it up throughout the game, I think is the general idea.
I think so.
Which I like,
Yeah, me too. I'm up for that. Definitely up for that. There you go. Well, we've pretty much covered most of what we've seen. As more news comes out regards to it, we will cover it, and we'll be heading. We'll all be definitely be getting it, and we'll play through the game as and when it comes out. We will be starting the Division 2 soon as well. We're just going to finish Fallen Ghosts, and we may have a dabble at Narco Road. Some of the missions on there are okay, but we might just, rather than cover the whole thing, we might just do a few videos doing bits and bobs on it before we kind of then move on to the Division 2. But there you go. Right, so if there's anything else you want to add, Nick, I'm all done, and that was
only that we shouldn't bother with Narco Road. I still think that was the biggest waste of time they ever did. But
no, I agree. I agree. It could have had a lot of things in it, to be honest. And I like the monster trucks. I'm still annoyed that they've never put the monster trucks in the main game. Why have they not ported them over? That is annoying. I would have liked them for a bit of a DOS around in a monster truck. But anyway,
no, that could have been fun.
That was our, just general thoughts and opinions on Breakpoint. It's out, is it October 4th? Is it October 4th? I believe so, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. So I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I will do. Yeah, that's it. But Bullet Catcher Gaming here from me and Nick. Thank you for watching. We do appreciate you watching every single video, or any like that you give us would be fantastic. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to see more content, and we'll see you on the next video, which will probably be some more Fallen Ghosts. Bye bye.